up, y'all? It's your boy Gianni Versace, and today I'm on set at No Offense But the show. And we're taking place here in the Sky. I'm here to get into the teas of the teas, the gossip. I'm ready here to talk about me. I'm ready to give my opinion unwarranted because that's just how I'm feeling today. And that's how I'm about to be feeling for the rest of my life. I'm ready for y'all to embark on this journey with me. I need you to just sit back. Just put your bonnet and your do-rag on and let me take the wheel. I got this. Just lay back. Let me handle you. Let me handle you. It's not even a podcast. It's more than a podcast. It's a show. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. It's a breath of fresh air. So I'm just gonna start with what's been going on with me, a little recap. This past week has been long for me. I've been just like adjusting, trying to get comfortable with myself, with my space, with just being okay with being alone in my space. And don't get me wrong, like I'm super okay with being alone. Like I feel like you come into this world alone, you leave this world alone. That's just what it is. But I'm trying to like go a little bit deeper. Like I want to be so okay. I feel like I am so okay with it, but I want to understand like why. So I'm just trying to figure out right now what makes me happy, doing the things that keep a smile on my face, doing the things that keep the lights on and keep the bills paid around here. I've been going to the gym 4 to 5 days a week. I'm trying to get my body together for my birthday. I plan on going out the country, so I need to be looking right and tight. And honestly, the gym is very like a humbling experience for me. I do not care to be in the gym at all. At all. I literally only go for probably like an hour, the most like an hour and 30 minutes, just depending on what I'm working on. And sometimes I'll be on my phone most of the time, but who gonna check me, boo? Because you know what? I'm still seeing the results. I'm eating better, doing my protein, gaining my little weight. I see the difference. I look good for my damn self. I have also been getting rid of distractions. I feel like life is full of them. And it's just about how determined you are to stay on your purpose, stay on track. And I've just been ridding myself of different distractions and also trying to get rid of being lazy and procrastination. Y'all, procrastination is the devil. Like it be on me so bad. And I constantly find myself falling into old ways and being bored and doing things that just don't really serve me. And especially with me being like an entrepreneur and an influencer, like I kind of make my schedule. So I do be having times of the day or through the week where I'm not really doing nothing. And I catch myself falling into like old ways, old traps, things that don't really serve me. And I have to like discipline myself and be like, you know what? This isn't for you. This isn't serving you. This isn't helping you. And I think a lot of people who aren't entrepreneurs or who don't work, on their own time, don't realize how much harder it is to be an entrepreneur. And I've seen that in some of like my friendships, my relationships, whatever. They think like, oh, just because you're at home or maybe you might catch me in the bed that I'm not doing anything. And they definitely mistake my free time or downtime or off time for my availability. And that's not what it is. Like, it's when you work like a 9-to-5 job, somebody tells you when to be into work, when to clock in, what you have to do, when to clock out, etc. When you're doing stuff for yourself, you have to tell yourself all of these things. And that could be so much harder because now it becomes a mind over matter. It becomes a discipline thing. And everybody does not have the discipline to get up out of bed at a certain time, to go to the gym and start their day off, to work on this, work on that, so you can set the tone for your day or whatever that looks like for you. And sometimes it's annoying because it's like I know all I have to do, and people just think I'm not doing nothing. Like I'm just chilling. Like the bills are just paying themselves or something. Like that's far from the truth. Sometimes I'm working harder than them, and maybe I am at the house, but I definitely am working. So that's something I've just been getting comfortable in my entrepreneurship and just my bag and focusing on me, like cutting out the distractions. Like I said, I ain't been hanging out as much. I ain't been doing as much. Like I'm okay with sitting at the house on the weekends. I'm not really missing nothing. When I pop back out, it's same old, same old. Especially if it's in town. Like catch me out of town. I'm more of like, I don't want to go out no more. I want to go out of town, out the country. Also, I have been gearing up. I've been sitting down, y'all. Like I've actually been sitting down. I was traveling a lot for the first couple months of the year, and now I'm finally able to like sit down and lock in on other things I want to do. Like don't get me wrong, I was doing work and content before I left. And I've been doing it while I've been gone as well. But now that I don't really have any trips planned until probably like August and then in September, I really have just time to go a little bit harder, especially now because I've been looking at places outside of Atlanta. I'm ready to finally leave. I have done my due diligence with Atlanta. I'm finally ready to move. I have always wanted to live in New York City. Like ever since I was a little kid, I always used to see New York like on movies, on shows, and I thought like, this is where I want to be. And as a kid, we weren't really able to like travel because of finances. So as I've like gone into adolescence and adulthood, I've been able to, afford that for myself. And I've gone to New York a plethora of times. I've gone to New York so many times I can't even count. And the same feeling that I got as a kid, that nostalgic feeling that I used to see on TV, is the same feeling that I get every time I go. Like I feel like there's a purpose. There's something there for me waiting. And there's a couple doors I want to knock down. Like I still feel like even though I am in the content influencer field, sometimes I feel like I see how far I've come, and then there's other times where I feel like I haven't come as far as I would like to at this time. And some of that is due to like comparison. Some of that is just due to my mind making me feel like, tricking me, telling me that I'm not doing as much as I could be doing. And I know a lot of people struggle with that, but you got to give yourself a little bit of grace, Some people are still sitting in their room on a funky ass mattress telling themselves, I'm going to post, I'm going to post, I'm going to post. I'm doing it. I'm living out loud. I'm living proud. But back to what I was saying, I want to go ahead and move over to New York. I did a little bit of apartment hunting while I was there, and I just don't see myself anywhere else. And I want to also knock down modeling there. I think that is like outside of content, that's my other calling, my other purpose. Like when I get up in the morning and I think about what I want to do, it's like, okay, I need to do this content, I need to shoot this, I need to shoot that. And I also need to break into the modeling industry. And I feel like it's been so difficult for me because I've been like tricked, I've been fooled, deceived. I don't know exactly which way to turn, but I'm hopeful that sometimes being in the right place will help me be there at the right time, and I will be able to make the right connections and meet the right people, and so on and so forth. What else has been going on? Other than that, honestly, I have just been, like I said, focusing on me. Like whatever makes me happy. Like I just want that for me. Like I said, I've been traveling. I had went in January. I don't think I really went anywhere, but like February is where I really kicked it off. I had like went to New York, and y'all, I had the best time. Like that was probably my best time, my favorite time, the most fun time I had in New York. March, I had went to Houston and Dallas, and I could have did without Houston. Like I thought I liked Houston from the time I went before, but this time Houston wasn't hitting on what it's supposed to hit on. And then at the end of March, I ended up traveling to Europe. I had went to Paris, Italy, London, and I got a real big culture shock. Like sometimes you never really know like how American you are until you go out of the country and you're being an American. Like got into it with the person I went there with, got into it with locals. Like am I the problem? That don't even sound right. But I I've just been living the life that I said I wanted to live, and that's what means so much to me. Like I always told myself, like I'm so much more than my environment and where I come from and what I do, and there's nothing wrong with where I come. I love where I come from. Like don't get it fucked up. I'm repping East Oakland to the death of me. But sometimes you gotta see more to be more. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes moving away and getting away from home is the only way to elevate and to prosper. Because sometimes people don't really want to see it for you at home. Like, they don't want it for me. Like a stranger on the internet or somebody in a different town. So after leaving, Europe, I came back home for a bit, and then I went back to New York again. Had celebrated my friend's birthday. I had went over to the Nicki Minaj concert. Got to see my girl. And it was a good concert, I'm not gonna lie. But by the time she came out, I was ready to go lay down. Oh, there has been a lot of shortcomings with me in the production of this show, and people supposed to be hands-on with it. And I just felt like I owe it to myself. I owe it to my supporters, the viewers, the haters, because it's a lot more of y'all, to go ahead and put this out. I think this is some new content that people want, people need, people don't even realize. Even the people who don't even realize they need it, gonna realize they need it once they get it. And I'm just happy that I can put myself in this position. I'm in a pivotal position to put myself in this position to go ahead and bring this to the world. I, for a while, have struggled with where I wanted to take my platform and my content, and how was I going to elevate it. And I think this is the best way to do so. And I love to give my opinion. Y'all know I love to give unwarranted opinions. And it's just me. Like, who's gonna check me? This was the perfect time, I think. Also, I'm just glad I can actually finally put it out there. I feel like like I said, there's been a lot of shortcomings and trial and error, and a lot of conversations on the back end about bringing this to the public. So I'm glad I can finally just bring this on to the public. Also, I just feel like I have so much. Like, I think we have this is just the start. I'm so excited for the journey of it all. I don't think y'all understand like how much I be having to say and what I think and where my mind goes. And y'all see me in my short form content, like on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. But you really have to see how my mind works to understand. To know me is to understand me. To understand me is to love me. Like, and you either gonna hate it or you gonna love it, or you gonna love it because you hate it, or hate it because you love it. That's what I meant. So I'm just excited for this journey. I want to see where it takes us. I want to see where I can go with it. I'm very hopeful for the future and all of this. And we have tons of segments, tons of topics, tons of things to get into today. So I'm ready for it. I'm taking it on. Now, more into celebrity news. So y'all, we got so much tea, y'all. There's been so much going on this week, this month, this year. Like, Cat Williams was not lying. When he said this was gonna be that year, everything coming to the light. Whatever's done in dark is coming to the light. So whatever you was doing at home, we gonna find out about it. Just wait on it. So apparently DJ Academics, also known as Alan Livingston, the live streamer, has been hit with a lawsuit by his ex, Fuwaza Zaya. She is hit him with a lawsuit, and allegedly she is claiming that he sexually assaulted her along with two of his friends who have not been named. This happened back in July of 2022. She was invited over to his New Jersey home where she alleged there was liquor, which made her woozy to the point of unconsciousness. And she doesn't have any memory of what happened the night before. But when she woke up to noises, she explained that DJ Academics was brutally raping her. And he also told her that maybe she should go ahead and have tests done to see because he was going to do the same. That she needed to go get testing because he was going to do the same. And seems as though he was very insensitive about the whole situation. And I think there's nothing about a sexual assault or someone feeling like they've been sexually assaulted that is minuscule. This is always a big thing, and I think people try to minimize it and make it seem like it's not as big as what it is because of this or because of that. And my heart goes out to any victim of sexual assault. He's been denying the claims. He is practically just living his life. I know he went on a live stream and said he really couldn't say too much about it because he's paid lawyers. Since then, he's also been, spending time and celebrating birthdays with his current girlfriend. And it's just leaving many wondering, like, who is Academics? You know what I'm saying? Behind the live stream. It's a sticky situation. She also did go ahead and get a rape kit done on her, where I think it was shown that that may have happened. It's a tough situation. So now we're just waiting to see how everything plays out in the media. If there's some sort of justice that needs to be served, I hope that it can be served. Now, moreover, the rapper beefs is at all-time highs here. We've seen Drake, Kendrick, Future versus Drake, Rick Ross versus Drake. It seems like everybody versus Drake right now. Drake got it. Drake's backed into a corner, but I don't think anybody coming at Drake right now is even a problem. But this ain't even about Drake right now. Since that beef has started, there's been so many other beefs, like The Game versus Rick Ross, which I don't really think too many people was really paying attention to. But anywho, Soulja Boy, he's going dark, y'all. He is going midnight. He has taken to social media to take shots at Metro Boomin, the producer. He has basically on May 12th, which is also known as Mother's Day, has spoke on the dead. Like that's always supposed to be like off limits. And those of you who don't know, Metro Boomin's mother passed away a few years ago. She was, I believe she was murdered. And at this time, I guess Metro Boomin originally had made a tweet about Soulja Boy back in like 2013, 2012. And I guess Soulja Boy had just seen it. And this is when he decided to just go off on him, basically throwing shots at him, his mom, saying F his mother, telling him Happy Mother's Day. Saying that I guess Metro Boomin had been in his DM back in like 2013, sending him beats, trying to work with him. So it's like, why are you trying to speak on me on the net to be funny or put my name in a tweet, but you on the back end DMing me trying to work with me type shit, which I can understand. But I don't, when you bring mamas into it, especially deceased mothers, it becomes a whole different situation. I don't believe Metro Boomin ever had anything to say in response to these tweets. But Soulja Boy had made a tweet saying, you got 24 hours to delete this tweet. And Metro had no response, but 21 Savage stepped in and was kind of like, or what? And that invoked and sparked a beef between Soulja Boy and 21. And now Soulja Boy is just like, I'm not beefing with no dude from Britain. Like we ain't even the same. And then he said he don't even really want to rap beef with him. He wants to just go ahead and throw the gloves on. Let's just do it. And he even went on live and said they can, they can fight about it or they can air it out. And y'all know 21 do not play. So it's just like how you want to take it. However, after the tweets, after going live and the beef, a lot of it seems mainly one-sided, seeing as it wasn't too much being said in response of Soulja Boy. But a few days later, Soulja Boy had made a public apology, taking down the tweets he made about Metro, but he's still standing on business with 21 and Meek Mill, because Meek Mill stepped in, and that's when he had to hit Meek Mill with it. Didn't Diddy do you where the sun don't shine at? You should stay in your lane. Meek Mill didn't have no response to that. It was quiet. I don't know what he could have said to that, honestly. But yeah, it's going down basement. I don't know. Soulja Boy said he needs to go ahead and get into some therapy, work on himself. I just hope for the best for him. That's all I can say. I don't know. For some people, they think it's like a relevancy thing. I understand Soulja Boy has made a big impact over the music industry, but he's not being talked about the way he used to be. Moving on. So reality star Drea Michelle has welcomed a baby girl into this world with Houston Rockets NBA player Jalen Green. And as exciting, as celebratory as this occasion, anytime a child is born, it should be a celebratory occasion. Many are in question of what her real intent is. And this mainly comes from the age gap between Drea and Jalen. Drea Michelle was born on January 23rd, 1985, whereas Jalen Green is 22, born February 9th, 2002. So yes, there's about a 17-year-old age gap between the two. While Jalen Green is a little bit on the rise, Drea Michelle is just, a former TV reality personality. So some are wondering, was she clinging to fame? Was she trying to secure that check? Who knows? More to come. I don't know what she was trying to go with this. And it just looks, I think people want to make it look bad on her part. However, I think two can tango. I think he's an adult and he also made that decision. It's just, did he know as much? Should he have known as much? Is it her fault that he doesn't know as much? No, I think it's definitely like a parent thing, like the way you're brought up, way you're raised. But I'm sure he has the money to support it, but it's like, why? Especially if they aren't together. Moving on. There is a video that surfaces of Sean Combs, aka Diddy, abusing Cassie inside of a Los Angeles hotel hallway. Can't say that I'm surprised. This is not helping his case, like, at all. Cassie has put so much into the lawsuit that she had against him that it has just brought so much to life and so many different depictions and ideas and thought processes on Diddy. This could be his undoing. Apparently the video was taken back in 2016. That was 8 years ago. It has taken 8 years for this to surface, this video to surface. And apparently it's because he paid the hotel for the damages and to keep it hidden. That just makes me wonder, what else was he able to keep hidden? What was he doing to her behind these closed doors? If you've seen the video, you've seen he was terrorizing this lady. This lady was just trying to get free. You can tell it was a fight for her life. And this just goes back to like the assault thing I was talking about earlier with academics. And it's just like so many women go through this each day, each year, and people aren't taking it serious. There are so many naysayers and people who weren't believers of Cassie. And I'm not going to sit here and be fake about it. I wondered too, when she first came out, I was like, is this a publicity stunt or what? Like, I was very skeptical. Not that I just totally didn't believe her, but I just wasn't sure. Was it as like deep or as real? Or, sometimes people, they try to lay it on a little thick. I didn't know. But after seeing this video, I just have no sort of, every doubt in my head is gone. To see someone be this evil is actually scary. And there have been people like Slim Thug who have come forward and expressed, how sorry they are to Cassie because they stood up for Diddy when all this came to light. And there should be a lot of people saying sorry, but there's still so many people I've seen on social media and Twitter saying, what did she do to make him this angry? And I don't think there's ever an excuse for somebody's, physical abuse to another person. It just makes you wonder, like, can you trust the people around you? I just hope she finds peace in all of this. And I hate that, like, so much of this gossip today is kind of like going into this negative, abusive, toxic, traumatic space. But I want to be able to provide a place where we can like talk about these things. Like, these things, they need to be talked about. They can't be swept under the rug. Because that's what's been going on for so long. She's been enduring so much pain, so much trauma, sexual assault, etc. from this man for over 10 years of their relationship. She has been in a relationship with this man, for so long that I can only imagine the things she's endured. And I understand why she would settle in all of this. Like, people probably wondering why she didn't fight harder, but I can see why she would have settled. And since the video has surfaced, the city of Los Angeles Police Department has made a statement explaining how, with the statute of limitations, the video is so old. Apparently, there's an expiration date on when someone can be assaulted. That they aren't able to charge Diddy, which has so many in an uproar because it's like we're physically looking at everything she said happen in front of our eyes, and there's nothing that the police can even do. It's making many question, like, I feel like the integrity of police was already very low, and the hope that we had in them, but it just getting lower and lower and lower. And I understand the law is the law, but it's like we're seeing it. Like, it's unfolding right in front of our eyes, and it's very scary to see how much power this man has held. He was able to hide this little piece, this little piece of this incident for 8 years. I just really wonder what else is lurking in the shadows, what else has happened, what else is going on, what else has been hidden from the media, what else is to come from all of this. And he just made a statement, on Instagram the other day, like, the truth will come to light. They said, oh, okay, boom. And apparently the hotel didn't release this. They were thinking that it's possibly come from that raid that happened back in March. God only knows. So this segment is possibly my favorite. This is going to be called Fan Facts. This is where I'm going to be interacting with my audience. I want to get it set up to where it's like through Twitter, where they're just like sending me things, or I might ask y'all like a question and then y'all respond, and then I'll like talk about it on my podcast. So I have a few different questions, a few different Q&As today. Something simple. We're going to keep it light for the first episode. So, Austin Tattooist, my apologies if I messed your name up, Austin. He asked me, how do you navigate the delicate balance between the public and the private life? And this is such a good question because I think people wonder this about me all the time. I think because so much of me, my face, my personality is out there on social media, out in the open, that I try to keep certain things private. So like family life or my love life. You're never really gonna catch me posting somebody like that I'm with or that I talk to, and if I do post my family, like I'm probably not tagging them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain things I just feel like should be kept sacred, and I just didn't really grow up or never really got into the habit of posting or doing certain things. So it just makes it doesn't really, I never really feel like I'm balancing it. I feel like I've always kind of just been I'm very introverted, which is crazy because at the same time, I'm out here on social media, but it's very different being in my personal space and having my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions out on social media, because at the end of the day, I'm still in my home when I'm saying these things. So it's not like I'm in front of an audience or I'm in front of a group, but I know how to be extroverted when it's time to be, if that makes sense. So when I'm balancing it, I just always think about like, would I want this information to hit the net? Would I want this to be public knowledge? And it's not like I'm hiding it or it's not like that, but I just do believe like certain things should not be on social media all the time. Like everything is not for the public eye. So you just have to be conscious of what you say and what you do. You know, sometimes things do come out that maybe I didn't want or whatever the case may be, but for the most part, that's not really a big problem for me, keeping that balance between my social and my private life, if that makes sense. And also I think I'm still rising up. So there's like an eye on me a little bit, but not so much so that I can't walk around to the mall, or not even necessarily, let me not say the mall, but I can't go out to eat with somebody and then hear about it later on. Like, it's not like paparazzi is following me around or anything, but I do be cautious. Like if I'm doing my live streaming or if I'm doing something like this, like I won't post certain things because I don't want everybody, everybody has an opinion. Look at me. I'm one to talk. So I just keep the things that I love private, because people aren't going to treat them the same as I do. They're not going to love them the same way I do. They're not going to understand the same way I do. But thank you, Austin. JJJK is coming 7 asks, what made you want to get into content creation? That's another good question. I don't really feel like I necessarily wanted to get into content creation. I think at a young age, like as a kid, I always wanted people to know my name, people to know my face. I used to want to be a singer. I used to want to be a actor. I used to want to be this, that. It didn't really matter to me how people would know me. I just wanted my name, my face, my personality to be seen. I knew I wanted more than what I had. And so growing up, I knew I was like, okay, I have to get into these rooms. I have to get my name out there somehow. I just didn't understand how. And, after I started posting on TikTok and I started gaining, a little clout, a little notoriety, people started knowing my name, my face, I was like, okay, this could be my lane. I didn't ever think that I would just be a social media person. But you know what? As younger, I did used to make like little comical clips and post them, but I wasn't consistent. I wasn't doing it on a big scale. It was just something that I did for fun. And even with my content on like TikTok, that was never for me to try to get lit doing. Like I didn't go into it like, okay, I'm about to start posting this and get lit. Like I literally started just using little trending sounds, playing around, and then I just started talking about how I felt, and it just started going up, and I started getting good feedback. And I was like, okay, this could be a career. This could be a thing for me. There's so many people around that are doing the same thing I'm doing. Why not me? You know what I'm saying? Like I always knew I had a higher calling. I always knew there was something out there for me to do than just, the regular. And there's nothing wrong with the regular. Nothing wrong. But I just knew for me, I wanted a little bit more for myself. Like I do want the fame. I do want my name out there. I do want this. I do want that. But I also have to take, whatever comes with it. So it's something that kind of like, I don't want to say it fell into my lap because I've worked for it, especially now, but I just didn't know that this was going to be my thing, if that makes sense. However, I did used to want to do YouTube in high school, but I always was like thinking about like what I was going to do, overthinking what I was going to do, what I was going to say, what people would think, or, just all the logistics of it. But once I got old enough, I stopped giving a fuck. But yeah, that's how I got into content creation. JJK is coming 7 also asked me, how did you become Gianni Versace? Like, what was your childhood like? That's another good question. I grew up like middle class. Like we had everything we needed, but not necessarily the things that I wanted. I think at a young age, I began to realize I was very materialistic. I liked nice things. I liked expensive things. And I wanted those things like for myself. And I realized that my parents could not like afford them at that time. And I started to make means for myself of like making money to afford the things that I like to afford at a young age. So like before I could work, I was hustling. And then when I could work, I was working, and so on and so forth. And I had don't get me wrong, like I had a good, like, especially compared to like people, things that I've heard, like I don't ever want to make it like downplay it. Like I had a terrible childhood and this happened and that happened. I didn't have, everything I wanted, but I went out there and made it happen. And I'm so fortunate that I had to learn a lot young. Like I used to like feel like, oh, why do I have to do these things? Like, why do I have to get on the bus? Why do I have to do this, do that, take up for this, take up for that? I also like spent a lot of time helping to like raise my siblings as well. So that had put me in a more mature role very young. And I used to not understand, I used to hate it, but I feel like all those things have shaped me for who I am. Like I wouldn't take any of them back at this point. Like I feel like I needed all those things to make me who I am today because it has made me so independent, so self-sufficient. I feel like I'm a self-starter. I feel like I know how to go out there and get it. When there's no way made, I can go out there and make a way for myself. And I'm so appreciative of it now. Like I didn't understand it. Like, when your parents be telling you like, you gonna see one day, I'm seeing mama, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. Like it's very apparent. It's very here. It's very like in my face. I feel like I've always had, I used to get in trouble a lot for like having a smart mouth or saying what I thought or talking in class. It might be a whole room of people in the class talking, but I'm still in there talking. You know what I'm saying? The teacher moved me away from everybody else. I'm still over there talking to her. Like I'm gonna find somebody to talk to. I got some shit to say. Okay, that's why we here now. And it's so crazy that I used to get in trouble for talking or speaking out, and now that's what I get paid to do. Get into that. How you like that? How I look now, bitch? And it's so rewarding now that all of it has come forward. Like, I feel like even me and my mom, we had this conversation like a couple years back. And she was like, as much as you do, as much as, I'm so outspoken. I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do. Like, and it's don't even come from like a me trying to be a disrespectful or out of pocket person, but I really am my own person. Like, no, I don't, I go by the beat of my own drum. You can tell me things, but sometimes I'm gonna have to learn them on my own. I've always been that way. I'm very headstrong. I'm very like, I have to learn. Like, you could tell me that, but I'm still gonna go figure it out and see. You know what I'm saying? I need to know for myself. I don't take no as an answer. I don't believe in looking at how other people did things and feeling like, that wouldn't happen for me. I have to go see for myself. And me and my mom, we had this conversation, and she was just like, as much stuff as you've done, whatever, but I feel like you are the person who I wanted you to be. I don't take shit from nobody. I don't allow myself to be rolled over. I don't allow people to just give me the pickle juice. Because if I accepted the pickle juice, I'd be drinking pickle juice right now. So yeah, I feel like I've always been this person. It just took others a while to recognize who I was, and it took me a moment to start accepting that. I used to think there was like something wrong with me. Like people used to make me feel like I should feel bad about who I was, and maybe I wasn't doing it the right way. Maybe I was super abrasive. Maybe I was that, but I was just learning. We all are in this life for the first time, learning fuck up by fuck up for the first time. Like, I have to learn, and I'm still learning. But I feel like I'm so much more aware of who I am now than who I was then. All right, so Seven Taylor, shout out to Seven, asked me, what separates this person you are from the one you've transformed from? So basically, what separates the person that I was to the person that I am now? I want to say just discipline, honestly, like sticking to my moralities, my morals, sticking to the things that I know I should be doing and not embracing the things I shouldn't, and hanging around the wrong people, the wrong crowds, just because boredom, because lust, because one thing or another. I think also, I don't want to act like I'm the most holiest and I've read all the Bible verses and I've gone to church all the time, but trying to establish my journey of trying to like establish my relationship with God. These have all been major contributors to the person I am now from the person I am then. I think I'm in a place now where I'm more open to other people's opinion. Like, I used to be like, you couldn't tell me shit. Like, I don't want to hear shit nobody got to say. I think I'm more open. I'm more able to interpret. I'm more able to see, like, again, like when your parents used to tell you, like, you gonna see, like, I'm able to see the things I wasn't able to see as a kid. It was almost like, it was like a fog over my eyes, at a young age. Like, you feel like nobody can tell you nothing. You feel like you're so untouchable. I think I have been humbled in so many ways and also blessed in so many other ways that it has allowed me to see the error in some of my past ways and my mistakes, and has been able to make me better for it. And this person that I am now, and I know like the person that I'm still becoming. Like, I feel like I will, until the day that I'm gone, I will forever be on an evolutionary journey to becoming the best version of myself. I think I'm better than what I was, but I feel like there's still so much more to go. So I'm really thankful for that. But again, just like principles, discipline, sticking to it, like not switching up. Even when things get hard, even when things look rough, I think I've been walking by faith and not by sight, and that has done so much for me in my personal life and my career. And I'm just able to like work better off of it. It makes more sense for me. Yeah. Still transforming, still doing better. And don't get me wrong, sometimes, I might slip up or whatever, but I hold myself accountable. I think sometimes we're looking for somebody to do the things for us that we can do for ourselves. And I've been really being big on me, prioritizing myself. Sometimes it's okay to be selfish with yourself. Like, you don't have to be around certain people, certain crowds, certain things, especially if they don't contribute to your happiness, your success, your finances. your evolution, your growth. Like, do whatever the fuck is going to make you happy. What's going to make you better. Fuck everybody else. So Seven Taylor also asked me, what are your requirements for dating in this new chapter of your life? Y'all, dating for me, like, honestly, sometimes I'm starting to feel like I'm just not supposed to be dating. Like, maybe this is just not that season of my life. I think right now I should just be working on me, doing my career. I feel like whenever I try to add somebody into the mix, it takes away from what I should be doing in my career, in my life. Like, maybe I should be going live. Maybe I should be starting my show. Maybe I should be making my content. But I'm too busy putting energy into something that doesn't even have any longevity. I don't know. I think I'll be carefully picking the wrong person over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And honestly, right now, I've had to, like, when I said I've been standing on business, I've been standing on my morals, I've been standing on my principles, I've been standing on discipline. I've had to, like, really take a long, hard look at the man in the mirror and been like, why do we keep doing the same thing over and over? This is insanity. We're not getting, there's nothing coming from this. It's just wasted time, lack of funds, and no actual happiness. I keep being in this state of, like, moving on from shit that I'm not even really in. And it gets draining. And I've had to just be hard on myself and tell myself, hey, look, these little situationships you've been in, they're not benefiting you in any way. It's not making you happy. It's not bringing you no money. It's not doing this, it's not doing that. Like, it's one thing if I was getting paid for it, but I'm not even getting paid for it. Like, I feel like in this chapter right now, it's going to take someone who is, like, patient, someone who is someone patient, someone who has, like, who's willing to put in the work. I don't feel like I have all the tools and the resources to make a perfect, or make, not even, nothing's perfect. Let me take that back. To make, like, a healthy relationship. Like, I feel like it's going to take somebody who's willing to just see my faults, see my errors, see my wrongdoings, whatever, and be able to, like, work with me and we can build on it. Because I'm far from perfect, like everyone I know. I think it's going to take, honestly, the only thing I can really say is just patience. Like, I think it just needs patience. I need patience. I need someone who's willing to build, someone who is willing to really take the time to get to know me. I don't think people are taking the time to get to know people. They're just seeing you, they're seeing me, they think we look good, you think I look good, and, like, let's try to do something. Like, it never works. Like, I want to establish a friendship, a bond. I want something that we have, even if we don't make it into a relationship, at least we can be, like, friends from it. Because I'm so sick of seeing the same old thing. Like, they be dating, they break up, they fall out, then they beefing, restraining orders, it's gossip, it's blogs, it's this, it's that. And where I'm going in my life, I don't want that type of energy around me. I don't want that to put a stain on me, my name, my career, anything I have going for myself. I just want to be around wholesome. I just want to be around love. I just want to be around people who genuinely adore and love me for me. And I don't got to fake it. I don't got to dumb it down, sugarcoat it. I want to be authentically me while also appeasing them. I don't want to hurt anybody either. It's honestly, like, the biggest thing I think is just going to take is just time and patience. Patience is a virtue. And not many of us have it. All right, y'all. Now, more over to my favorite segment. This is going to be called the No Offense But segment. And this one I'm just gonna be giving my opinion and my thoughts on things and not just letting them be general or unbiased. So moreover, let's dive back into the Cassie and Diddy situation. You know, many were questioning when Cassie first came out back in November of 2023 with the allegations against Diddy, whether or not they were factual. They were wondering, you know, hey, if this happened all these years ago in the timeline, why are you just bringing it up now? There were many naysayers, many people believing this was a publicity stunt, wondering whether or not, you know, did the well dry up and now she was hitting up Diddy for more money? And honestly, I just feel like you cannot rush somebody's process when it comes to bringing up sexual assault. That is something that's very traumatic, something that it's hard to do, especially in the public's eye. Like, just imagine for the average person to talk about with a therapist or a friend or whoever. Imagine have to bring this up to the world. And the world is so cruel, they don't really care about so much about like how that person feels or what they're going through at the moment. They just want to know the tea, the truth. And so many people, when women come forth, people always want to know, well, what happened to make you do this, to do that. So a lot of women don't even come forward with their assault because they're afraid that they won't even be believed, that people don't even want to hear. People will be naysayers. There's people who like Slim Thug who stuck up for Diddy but now happen to retract their statement and bite their tongue and apologize to her. And again, I even told y'all earlier, I was a little skeptical. I didn't necessarily not believe her, but I just wanted more information. So in a way, I might be a little part of the problem, but that's why I'm able to sit here and talk about it, because I can understand it. Like I can see it. Prior to the video, like back in November, so many people were against her, and I'm sure that wasn't easy. Like, what reason would she have to lie other than maybe we thinking that maybe she wanted to pull a publicity stunt or she wanted to get money out of him, and he settled. So that should already right there tell you something. That's a red flag. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I didn't do something, I would want to put it out there. And I'm sure she probably settled because already putting those documents out saying that he did this, he did that. Like, I think it was like 30 something pages of her telling what happened between her and Diddy over the years from the time she was 21 up until their split. That has to be hard to relive and to tell to the world, and people have to dissect it. Again, people aren't caring about how she's feeling in that moment. They just want to know why she's doing it. They want to know the tea. They want to know every detail. It's not, we're so desensitized. And now that a video has surfaced of Diddy physically abusing Cassie in that LA hotel hallway, so many people have had to sit up like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, she was saying that, but like now we're seeing it. Like it's actually there. It's something that we can, it's obtainable. Like we can see it. There's evidence. And I think that brings it to a new level. And with, like I said, the LAPD is saying that they're not even able to charge him because of the statute of limitations of when it happened. If it really did happen back in 2016, like they said, so much time has gone past that he can't even be charged. So it's like, imagine looking at your abuser. You know what they've done. They know what they've done. The world now has seen what they've done. And they still cannot be prosecuted to the full extent of the law because the law says that after a certain amount of times, they can't be prosecuted for it. That has to hurt. And that's probably another reason why she settled. She probably figured there was so much stuff that happened outside of the statute of limitations that she couldn't even do anything with. Like, would he even go see any time for it? And back in November 2023, you know, Cassie, in the lawsuit, she's explained how she was sex trafficked, raped, and abused by Diddy, aka Sean Combs, for the duration of maybe about 10 years.
Makes everything else
Seeing the video, it does make everything else a lot more believable. Like, it's not so far-fetched. Young 20-something-year-old upcoming artist is signed to Sean Combs to a I think he was 37. No, she said she met him in 2005, and she was a little bit younger than 21 back then. But she was very young and impressionable. And y'all know this you hear it every day. The industry, it's a dark place. It's a lot of, Diddy ain't the only one. So I wonder who else is entangled in this web of evil, darkness. She was introduced to him when she was much younger, and she's impressionable. She's an artist. She's signed to his record label. He was controlling every aspect of her life. He was abusing her, allegedly abusing her. Well, not even allegedly, because we see that he does abuse her. Paying for her vacations, allegedly paying for her health. They said that he even was able to access her personal health records. He's paying her rent. He's paying for her cars. He's paying for her to live this life. He's paying to have her hidden when she's beat up so bad that she can't be seen in the public eye. She stated that he has like literally ruined some of the relationships she's had with her family. And she is rebuilding her life and her career. She is now again married. But I just can't fathom someone doing this to her. There was times where she's claimed she was so afraid that when she escaped, she came back in fear of like the punishment being worse than what she ran away from. 10 years. Imagine dealing with this person for 10 years. And from that, others have come forward about Diddy, and it just really makes you wonder, like, who else is lurking in the shadows? What other secrets have not come to light? I'm sure a lot more about Diddy, about other people in the industry will come out. I don't know if I'm ready. I just think you just gotta grab your nuts and get ready at this point. And since she came out with her lawsuit back in November, Diddy has been, 2 of his homes in both Miami and LA have been raided. And they thought that he was, I guess, taking a flight to Antigua, but he was really just walking around Miami. He still has not been, I think, taken into custody or detained or anything like that. So it's just right now, we're just waiting to see what happens with the lawsuits and the investigations, because his houses were raided because of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. And I'm sure it has something to do with what Cassie was saying about her being sex trafficked by him, and him taking her to have sex with different men. And that's my biggest thing. Diddy, his power, his money goes so long, so far, that he is able to hide so many different things that he has done. Like, if he was able to keep that video from coming out for 8 years, I wonder what the hell was going on behind closed doors. Like, I to be a fly on the fucking wall, and would I even want to see that? And now this has sparked up, the media coming up with with their thoughts about what he was doing with Kim Porter. People were allegedly saying that he may have broken Kim Porter's nose. Some people even allege that he may have had a hand in her demise. And it's just scary to see how this one man is getting away with all these things. People are even alleging that he might even be part be like an informant or part of the CIA. And it just it goes deep. It goes deep. I feel like we have only literally scratched the surface of the secrets and the scary part of this industry. I'm at a loss for words. I can only just imagine. I just hope that the victims can, what's the word I want to use? I hope the victims can find some sort of like peace from all of this and they get the justice that they need and something comes to light. But I just hope that things aren't happening so far. Like, I think there's a lot of things that have happened, like even with them saying that potentially Kid Cudi car had got blown up. Are they able to prove some of these things? Like, I think some things are hard. They're not going to be easy to prove. Because in the court of law, it's not even about what actually happened. It's about what can be proved. And with statute of limitations, things that need to be proved, I don't know if a lot of the things that Diddy has done are even going to be able to be proved or being brought out there. And that's a scary thought in itself. Just imagine your abuser out there and they can't even charge him for it, for the things he's done to society, to people. I hope that they can bring Diddy. I hope they throw his ass in jail and melt the key. We about to have a Diddy-free summer. It's okay because I didn't drink Deleon anyway. Or Ciroc, for that matter. I don't drink no nasty ass vodka. I drink Hennessy out the motherfucking bottle with a straw. No wrapper. And with that being said, this concludes the first episode of the No Offense But show with your host, Gianni. And until next time, y'all, tune in with me.